So many people, I do my posts on Instagram all the time, they've been working and dealing with reactivity for over 6 months, which is a tragedy. You guys should absolutely be seeing results after the first 2 weeks of training with somebody who's showing you and coaching you and telling you and pointing out the things that you're making, because they're very, very easy things to correct. You just don't even know that you're doing it. If you have a reactive dog, you know damn well how it feels to go out in public. You get more anxious than your dog probably is, and maybe you start to sweat, and then you start to look around and you start to realize, okay, there's other dogs around, and it just plain sucks, and I get that. But I wanna make this video for anybody out there who's struggling and looking for change with their dog. And if you wanna learn more about dog reactivity, learn more of why it happens and how to fix it, this video is absolutely for free, and it's absolutely for you. But the only caveat to this, guys, is you have to watch to the very end, because it's a complete package on everything. First of all, when your dog reacts, that doesn't mean that they're aggressive or they're mean or they want to kill everybody. It simply means that something has entered your dog's environment that made them react. Like if somebody dumped water on me right now, I would probably react. Your dog's walking, everything's fine, and then boom, your dog explodes just because, God forbid, another dog is walking down the road with their dog. I know for a lot of you this doesn't make sense, and at the very least it's frustrating. But dogs have a huge spectrum of build and why they build in the first place. So I want to ask you guys a question. If 0 is no reaction at all, your dog is chilling, doesn't care, and 10 is the most reactive, let me know in the comments where your dog lies, because that matters. But that spectrum is huge for so many of you out there, and I'm gonna cover how to stop that build before your dog actually red zones. But again, you have to watch the full thing, because dog training is a big picture. It's not just little tiny pieces. You have to understand each step in order to make this work. But here's the first tip. First of all, work on your directional changes to stop loading that dismantlement. As your dog starts to load, you guys will typically start to see the dog lock in on something, right? Their mouth may shut, their ears perk up. All these things start to build as your dog starts to load on whatever they're looking at or whatever they're about to react to. And if you do a simple drawback and recall, you can easily dismantle and start to decrease that build in low building dogs. Now, once your dog draws back, you can pay them both verbally and externally, which means food, something externally from you, high value, making sure that you pay them and reward them to let them know that they made a good decision. And you can also use your inside turn to decrease that build. So as your dog starts to build, you can break that build with a left leg cutoff. So if your dog is on your left, you're gonna turn inside to them to cut off that vision. Remember, guys, wherever your dog's head goes, the mind will then follow. So you gotta make sure that you're breaking that attention towards whatever they're reacting to. That's your goal in the preliminary stages as your dog is building. You also wanna make sure, everyone makes this mistake, don't go home. You don't have to go home. You don't have to go away and go completely avoid the situation. You just wanna build back, repeat and rinse and repeat, so on and so forth. What you wanna do is make sure you randomize this. If you guys do not randomize this, your dog is gonna catch on to what you're doing. Every time you see a dog, then you react and you start to do inside and outside turns. Don't do that. But as a side note, not all dogs are gonna like other dogs anyway. And there's nothing that you can do, there's nothing that anyone else can do to change that. They just don't like dogs. That's their personality, so don't take it personally. The second thing is, guys, maybe even bigger than the first thing we just talked about. But make sure you, the dog owner, you guys are relaxed as possible. This is absolutely gigantic for you guys. One of the biggest mistakes I see almost every single dog owner who comes into my facility has is they make the dog more nervous because they're nervous. They see a dog, you start getting tense. You start talking, you start lifting the leash. Don't do those things. Those are the things that people do instinctually, and you have to be mindful about the leash that's in your hand. So if you see a dog, don't start talking. Just be as cool as you can. Make sure that you don't cue the dog, holy crap, something's about to happen. Don't lift your arm up. Almost every single dog owner sets their dog up for that failure. Make sure you're not one of those people. Go out and film yourself, have somebody else film you as you guys are working on these things. And as a bonus tip, I'll just say, make sure you guys pay your dog. So many people get into this fix-it mode and they forget that when their dog actually does something good, that we don't pay him. We literally just are like, oh yeah, oh by the way. We're so focused on what could go wrong that we forget about what's actually going right in the moment. And that's where you're just never gonna be able to succeed and never progress. I've seen some of the most reactive dogs ever come into my program and leave as neutral as a therapy dog. And this is truth. You guys have seen on my channel, I'll put a couple videos right here. 90% of dogs who come in reactive or aggressive are because of their dog owners. Think about it. Was your dog reactive before and now is? What's changed? What's the big difference of, well, my dog never was, now they are? Living with you. And I know that's terrible, and I don't even like saying it, and it's sad and it's frustrating, but it's the truth, guys. The moment you can realize that you set your dog up for these failures and to do all these things, I can help you 100%, and I want to do that for you right now. I have a brand new reactivity course, and for the very first time, I'm also coaching people all over the world, no excuses, on reactivity from the comfort of your own home. And it's a fraction of what it costs to work with me in person. And all of the opportunities to get better today are listed into my description. This is a free video on you guys, helping you with your dog, but there is online interactive coaching that we're gonna be doing. It doesn't matter if you sign up for that or not, I don't care. It's there if you want it. There's a reactivity course, there's the coaching course, whatever. But you have to understand, if your dog loves you more than anything else, you're your dog's favorite person, right? Now, I've been doing this, again, you guys, over a decade, and this is what happens. We go out, the dog all of a sudden sees a dog, and then you get tense. The dog looks at you, you start saying, it's okay, and you aren't doing any of these things prior to the dog being there, prior to the person being there. You start to trigger the dog. You start to tell the dog, this is not an okay situation. There's things that we need to worry about because you changed. This automatically starts to build your dog up. We start talking to them, all these things. And so my point is I can train as many dogs that are thrown at me, and they could be the most aggressive dogs in the world. But if you as the dog owner don't understand fundamentally what you're doing wrong via somebody pointing out, I mean, that's what I did in this next clip here. And also what I do every week is I say, look at what you're doing. Look at the things that you're doing. You have to put your arm down. You have to breathe. Look at your corrections. You're not doing inside turns, you're doing outside turns. Every single time, like I said before, 90% of dog owners who struggle with dog reactivity is because of you. You could hire as many trainers as you want. You can take courses, all those things are gonna be helpful. But if you don't have somebody like myself who specializes in human coaching, I am not in the dog business, guys. I am in the people business. Yes, I work with athletes and celebrities, and I'm on TV every single month helping dog owners all over the world. But really what I'm doing is I'm telling you the mistakes that you're making. And in order to be successful, you need a coach like me or somebody else that can help you understand the mistakes that you're making in order for you to be successful. So many people, I do my posts on Instagram all the time, they've been working and dealing with reactivity for over 6 months, which is a tragedy. You guys should absolutely be seeing results after the first 2 weeks of training with somebody who's showing you and coaching you and telling you and pointing out the things that you're making, because they're very, very easy things to correct. You just don't even know that you're doing it. You're putting too much focus in the dog, and it needs to be about both of you guys, if not more than you. All of my online coaching and all of my reactivity courses are linked in the description below. I hope that this video is helpful. If you like videos like this and you want me to do more of them, leave a comment in the comments below and show some support if that's what you want. Thank you for watching. Good luck, everybody, and maybe I'll see you in my next online coaching class.